So the idea is we all, I believe, want to take control of your destiny. Are you ready to take control of your destiny? And if so, those are the 3 steps that you need to take.
Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. Are you stuck in the corporate rat race, worrying about layoffs, and longing to take control of your destiny? This is the place for frustrated executives like you who want to escape the grind, live life on your own terms, and build wealth. Whether you're ready to make a full transition into franchise ownership or want to start building a side business along your corporate job, Pete guides you every step of the way. He'll talk about how to create career and income security, diversify your assets and income, and live life on your own terms. Your path to controlling your own destiny starts now.
Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. My name is Pete Gilfillan. I'm an entrepreneur. I am the best-selling author of the book Hire Yourself. I'm a nationally recognized franchise consultant, and I'm a proud corporate escapee. You know, I always try to answer a question, and the question I want to answer today is, are you ready to take control of your destiny? If you are, there are 3 simple steps. And as you know from being on my prior podcast, bottom line is that I have a mission in life, and my mission is to help senior level executives take control of their destiny, to live life in their own terms, and to build wealth. And one of the best ways you can do that is through looking at or considering investing in a franchise. But let's take a step back. So are you ready to take control of your destiny? And if you are, there are 3 simple steps. So first, you have to make the decision that you want to be in control of life. You want to take control of your destiny. I know this sounds really simple, but it's something that you have to really work through. Like when I was a senior level executive, I had great positions. I ran very large organizations, and it got to the point where it was just driving me into a hole. It was going to get me divorced or disconnected from my kids because I was always gone. I was always under a lot of pressure. I was always working. And when we have the ability to step back and think a little bit about this idea of taking control of our destiny or living life on our own terms, you know, we only got one shot at this. And so I decided, it took me some time, and I really had a hard time walking away from the corporate world. But when I made the decision to leave the corporate world and start investing in a franchise, that was the first step for me taking control of my life. And it was a big step. I walked away from a very large income, all the great benefits, and I had a family of 6. I was the sole provider. I took a lot of my retirement dollars, and I decided that I wanted to invest in a business, to be in control, to not have anybody decide if I was going to have a job or what I was going to make. I wanted to be in complete control of where I lived and how I worked, having that flexible schedule. And we all learned a little bit about that through the pandemic, right? We learned to have a little bit more life on our own terms. And bottom line is I did it several years ago and made the leap. So one, you have to make the decision that you want to be in control of your life. And again, sounds simple, but it's a big decision. And you don't have to go into it all in like I did, leave the corporate job and just invest in a business. You can do it other ways where you ease into it or you slowly do it. The second step in taking control of your destiny is exploring, learning about all your different options on what you can do. So you don't necessarily have to invest in a franchise. Maybe you buy an existing business or you start a consulting business. But if you're going to invest in a franchise, we want to start exploring those business opportunities, and leveraging a franchise consultant like myself will help you identify what's important, what you'd want to accomplish if you were to invest in a franchise. So you have to take a step back and really start thinking about, okay, if I was going to invest in a franchise, how do I get to the point of I'm understanding what I'm looking for? And then more importantly, identifying businesses that align with those interests, and then doing your due diligence, going through a set process. I call it the franchise investigation procedures. It's the steps that you go through as part of your due diligence to evaluate the franchises. And then certainly, as you evaluate the franchise, there's lots of steps associated with it. One of the biggest steps is validation, talking to actual franchise owners that are considering the franchise business you're interested in or considering. And so we want to make sure we do our due diligence. And let's say we find the perfect franchise that we want to invest in. It aligns with us. We want to partner with them. And the idea behind this is that then we go on to the third step, and that's investing in that business, and then the work begins. And really, it's hard work to grow a business. When people invest in franchise businesses, I always tell them it takes a lot of power and energy to get that business off the ground. Just like a plane, right? It's got all the cargo, it's got the luggage, it's got the passengers, and it takes a lot of power and energy to get that plane off the tarmac. And then once it achieves a certain altitude, it actually can pull back in power. It's not any different with the franchise launching the business. It takes hard work. And it's different hard work because it's on your terms. And I still love working. Like I work hard as a corporate executive, but when I work hard with my business, number one, it's on my schedule. So if I want to go to one of my kids' events, I can. Just means maybe I'm getting up a little bit earlier, maybe I'm working a little bit afterwards. But the idea is I'm in control of my schedule. I'm also in control of where I live. I'm in control of how much money I want to make. And so I still work hard, but it's on my terms, and that's so important. And also, if I'm working hard, I want to be the one that's financially rewarded. I work really hard for corporations and I got paid nicely. But the idea is that I always had a cap on what I could make. When you have a business, you're not capped in terms of what you can do financially. And the idea of building wealth, something that you can build and eventually sell, or it can be a legacy for your kids, that's huge. So first, you have to make the decision that you want to be in control of your life. Number two is that you have to find the right opportunity or the right franchise business and do your due diligence to determine that that is the one that you want. And when you decide you've found the right business, the right franchise, then you have to work very hard to get that business off the ground. And it doesn't mean you're working less, but the idea is that you want to understand that it is on your terms. And it doesn't have to be where you give up your corporate job. You can keep your corporate job and start a franchise inside, put a manager in place, watch over that manager 15 to 20 hours a week. We call that semi-absentee franchise ownership. Or you can just leave the corporate world, escape all the craziness, right? And essentially just go into the business and be involved in it full time. In both cases, you don't have to be the person doing what the business does. You need to be leading the business, managing the manager, planning the marketing. So the idea is we all, I believe, want to take control of your destiny. Are you ready to take control of your destiny? And if so, those are the 3 steps that you need to take. So if you're interested in exploring franchises, I'm here for you. Just go to my website, schedule a 15-minute call. Would love to learn a little bit more about what's important to you, what you'd want to accomplish with the business, and tell you how I can help you explore business opportunities. And again, my services are free. And if you like what you heard today, I encourage you to like and subscribe to my podcast.
Thanks for joining us on the Hire Yourself podcast. Pete's here to help you break free from the corporate rat race, take control of your destiny, and finally live life on your own terms. Whether that's jumping into franchise ownership full time or starting it as a side hustle. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a fellow frustrated executive, and leave a review to let us know your thoughts. Until next time, take charge, build your future, and live life on your own terms.